After discovering KDE Plasma 6 and writing the review, I want to share the experience that led me to choose the right distribution to try it. It wasn't exactly a fun experience. I realized that most major distributions offered GNOME as the default desktop environment. Debian, Ubuntu, Fedora, Mint, Zorin. There isn't a major historical project supported by a large community that offers KDE as the default desktop environment, apart from openSUSE. I used the Tumbleweed version of openSUSE to test KDE 6, and to be honest, I didn't dislike it. But why is openSUSE no longer so mainstream in the Linux community? I believe that, even though it's not so trendy among YouTubers and bloggers, under the radar, this distribution is really interesting. It has a large community and a long history. Additionally, its control center is appreciated by everyone, especially users with advanced and professional expectations. It's the only major and historical distribution that adopts KDE by default. This really makes openSUSE special, and if KDE Plasma manages to mature adequately, it could be a great opportunity for openSUSE. The developers of openSUSE made a bold choice by proposing different development versions of the distribution along with the 15.4 branch, which is defined as the stable version. SUSE also offers a rolling release version that, in my opinion, manages to avoid the typical inconveniences of such releases. In case of an update that compromises the system, a rare event given that the updates are still tested, SUSE offers a recovery system that restores the system using a previously saved image. I find all this very interesting, as well as the micro version of the operating system. I just want to give you a couple of suggestions if you decide to install this distribution. The openSUSE graphical installer should be handled with care, especially regarding partitioning. Instead of proceeding without knowing what you're doing, I recommend taking a look online for guidance. The openSUSE installer tried to erase my Debian 12 from my disk and refused to use the free space. Hey, don't you dare touch my beloved Debian openSUSE installer. The YAS software manager is a revamped version of Synaptic, and it works well if you can tolerate that annoying loading bar that appears every time you open the application. YAST is a delight. In fact, KDE should take inspiration from it to reform its control center, at least in terms of structure. My experience has been positive, and I won't uninstall openSUSE. Instead, I will continue to use it and test KDE as my secondary system. Moreover, this distribution deserves a place in my top 3 distributions to recommend to a new Linux user. openSUSE Underdog.